Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the Monday edition of TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Dan Ipoy, and as usual, I'm not here alone. I have Mike Okwache.
Great morning. It's good to see you.
It's a new week.
Oh, yes. It's
Absolutely.
a great Monday.
Yes, and so many issues to look into. And one of it is the fight against malaria prevention, especially with regards to children. And the Federal Capital Territory Administration has been speaking with regards to that. There was some campaign on perennial malaria chemo prevention where they administer anti-malaria to children who are at a high risk of the infection. And so of the virus, rather. And then they came out to say that parents, it seems there's not enough talking about awareness. And so some parents do not really understand the importance of children. And also that access to some areas, because the Federal Capital Territory is quite a wide environment, and so it's been a challenge because they have not been able to meet up with the 80% requirements that WHO, that's the World Health Organization, gave. They have only been able to capture, I think, about 66% as of 2022. But they are saying that with the challenges they faced in 2022, for 2023, they are looking at how to bridge the gaps that they saw while they were trying to meet up that target. That's the 80% target for 2022 in 2023.
Yeah, a lot of the challenge there has to do with funding, and it's quite disheartening that the FCT that is supposed to be, the FCT is under the jurisdiction of the federal government, and we expect that everything in the FCT should have been close to perfect in such a way that FCT will be used as a litmus test. FCT will be used as a guinea pig for any perfection, anything the government wants to do as well. Let us test it to see how this will function around the country. FCT, whether it's housing, whether it's health, whether it's electricity, we're supposed to have close to perfection in the FCT. But unfortunately, we don't see that. Now, recall that also COVID-19 vaccination, FCT failed to meet targets.
Absolutely.
So the point there is that what is the budget for the FCT? And when the federal government is saying we need to do this, we need to carry out our policy, whatever, how do you test it in the FCT to ensure that we are trying to use a template that we can reach the nooks and crannies of the FCT so that we can use that, duplicate that or replicate that in other states? So when they fail to do that, what do you expect? Is it, you can't blame parents. The point there is that government is the one who is working with international partners to come up with findings. Government is the one who is supposed to enlighten the people about the vision of what it has to do and how it has to eradicate poverty, as the case may be. Government is the one who is supposed to carry everybody, enlighten everybody, communicate to everyone to allow them understand what they want to do. Government is the one carrying out the vaccination. So the point there is, when adequate information is not coming from the government, what do you expect parents to do?
Right.
So the point there is that an average parent the average parent will want to go about his or her normal duty. And if you say you're coming to vaccinate my child on anything, of course I need to know. So if you don't tell me...
What's the content
exactly,
of this vaccine?
If you don't tell me...
What is it about? Yes.
The total exercise, why you're vaccinating my child and for what benefit as the case may be, then you don't expect me to just open my doors and then bring
hand you my child,
inject him or her.
With what I don't know.
We need to know. So the point there is, there are adequate radio stations, there are adequate TV stations, there are adequate newspapers and all other means of communicating to Nigerians within the FCT. The use of extension workers, even if everybody is not listening to radio or watching TV, the use of extension workers are there. How do you utilize health extension workers into all of this parts of the FCT?
Right.
So the FCT is a very small location where you can dominate, you can saturate the FCT intentionally, so that you test whatever policy you're coming up with for for further replication into other parts of the country.
Absolutely, and this is why, in fact, some Nigerians often ask, where is the National Orientation Agency, which is an arm of government, an agency under government, talking about how they create awareness with regards to these things. This is where Nigerians need them now, to create awareness such that people can trust that government has their interest at heart. That is why government is carrying out this kind of exercise at the end of the day. We have to leave this conversation here now to